Ted and I, when we were talking the other day on the phone, he spoke about how there was a period you weren't as close, but then after your wife's passing, he said that you were the glue that held the family together.
That's awesome.
And when he said it to me, he said, that's the first time I ever made that comment.
I never heard it. That's real nice.
Curious your reaction to that.
Like I said, well, you saw, I mean, if you can't tell, I'm blushing. I mean, no, that's awesome. Tad has often been described the kid most like me. His mom named him the fighter because, I mean, that's him. He will not let the family be hurt in any kind of way. And like I said, I take nothing but pride.
How important do you think it was that the two of you reconciled before her passing?
Oh, I mean, the utmost important. Peggy was my best friend in high school. So needless to say, in high school, sweetheart. And we went through some tough times when it was taboo. You know, Peggy and I was dating one another. So I never wanted to lose that. And when she got ill, I wanted to be everything that she would need and more. I could take her to the games, you know, I could sit if she needed somebody to be there. So I think it was very important and glad, thank God that we got to.
What role would you say she played in the boys' lives?
I spoke at her services and my words were, as the scriptures say, let the work I've done speak for me. She was those boys' everything. I mean, they were her everything. She put her life into those boys, and that's when she looked me in the eye and says, when I'm gone, keep the family together. She was the ultimate football mom. She went from knowing football in high school because I played to being authoritarian on football. And Dak said sometimes a little embarrassing because she would call the coach and let them have it.
Really?
Oh my God. You go back and ask Dak, ask Coach Gooing when you see him. Would Peggy not let him have it for every bit of, yeah, that was her boys. Few choice words would flow, but classy all at the same time. But don't mess with her boys. Do not mess with that mama line. She was that mama line and she helped keep that pride together.
When she got sick, why was it important to her to avoid telling the boys initially, avoid telling the boys for a while, and then even longer the severity of how bad it was?
She didn't want to hurt them and didn't realize that probably the sooner that they were told, the better that they can start, you know, adapting and adjusting. But to her, it was that she knew it was bad, and she knew it was very bad. And I just think, and in her mind, she was doing the right thing.
Tad said, he's like, it wasn't till the week before her passing that I actually realized that she was going to pass away.
Tad never wanted to accept it. I mean, I remember one of the visits that we went to see the doctors, and she walked out and she mentioned to me the spots on the colon. And I in turn said, what about the lung? And he didn't know. And I mean, we had to almost medicate him because I mean, he passed out like, Mom, what? You know, because again, she didn't tell him. So it was hard on him. But again, he was that top dog, you know. Like after I left, he stepped into that role that he was going to protect the house, and that was something he couldn't protect her from.
Dak and Tad also said it probably had the biggest burden on Jace because he was with her
right
day
there
in,
to the end, to
day
the
out.
end. He saw her take her last breath, and I can't imagine. For my mom's sake, I watched one of her sisters take her last breath. It's something I tell anybody don't do. Just I mean. Unless that person asks you to, it's not something you want to put yourself through. I can't imagine that kid being there. And again, I'm a grown man. My mom is here. If I lost her today, how would I react? So yes, it was rough on him. And Peggy and Jace had a even more special bond, and they were very tight. So yeah, to be there had to be horrible.
They both said, in light of what happened recently, that they know it affected him, but even more so than he let on because
he held it in. We knew he was having hard times. We talked to him about it. I'll say personally, my Christmas card to him this past year stated that, baby, when you hurt, I hurt. But I need to know when you hurt. I need for you to let me in so that I can be able to do something.
What do you think he was most struggling with?
Just, again, I think just seeing his mom go that way. I mean, I remember we all made sure we always did Thanksgiving together. I mean, from Dak's first season, I would have all the family up here for Thanksgiving. You never saw a happier Jace. I mean, again, when all the family was together, it's like his laugh was the loudest. I mean, you almost had Peggy in the room with you because he was himself. And then, like the last 2 years, I think it just got more and more overbearing. And I mean, I wish I had the answers. You know, I said, I'm still searching for him. You know, one of those things I'll never know. We know he was hurting. We know he was in turmoil. And I draw peace, if nothing else, knowing that his mom was waiting there and said, you know, your struggles are over. You know, rest now. And I think that's where he drew the peace from also.
Dak told me that you had the unfortunate duty of waking him up.
I'm usually that guy.
Telling him what happened.
Not a good. Well, imagine being woke up yourself until you know you just lost a kid. You know, so I had to gather myself first. I contacted. It's 3 guys here that he played ball with at Mississippi State. They're all doing training and physical training and coaching and stuff. I called those 3 guys first and broke the news to them and said, I'm on the way to the house. And before I could leave my house, those 3 guys were there with me. So we all drove out together.
How's it impacted the family?
Actually, I think we have drawn so much closer. I don't know if Tad told you guys or not, but I got told on Father's Day I'm gonna be a grandfather. Yeah, I mean,
congratulations.
Thank you. That was my surprise from Tad and his fiance. And if it's a boy, it's gonna be named Jace. If it's a girl, it's gonna be named Mackenzie. So, and I got to see Tad smile. Tad and I have had several cries together since then, but I got to see him smile so big on Father's Day when we talked about that. And like I said, I can see the unity now. Our 3 homes are separated 20 minutes. You can get to each and every home. The healing is still going on, but we can see it. We had a celebration on Mother's Day, which happened to turn out to be Jace's birthday. But we did the lanterns to where we got to write our own messages. You know, I remember because it took us probably 2 hours because everybody's writing and crying. Everybody's watching the lanterns go up, and that was a healing moment. I mean, it was seriously did us a lot of good.